So you've got your 1975 Simpson Star Wars, and it's all looking good, complete with original clips and visor that's actually mint as well. And you want to do a renovation on it. Why? Because like all Simpsons of this age, if you take a look inside, the padding would have come loose. So there's no way you're going to be sticking that on your head with all that as loose as that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the steps of learning how to renovate it and hopefully get it up to a nice little standard inside. So let's have a look and see how we get on. We live and learn, and we'll get it on the go. But let's see where we go. So here we go, and inside the helmet you've got the front part where the grids are that let all the venting in. As you can see, I've loosened this off, and behind there you've got your metal gauze in, which saves things, bugs I suppose, flying through the front of the actual helmet. Don't forget this is 70s design and very basically put in with glue. So let's take a look. That's what you find behind there, and it's just pulling away nicely there. Right, so it seems to be stuck right round by where the actual bridge is on the top. So what we're going to do is get a hairdryer on the rubber to warm up the glue behind it so we don't tear the rubber, and then that should pull loose, and then that will release where it's actually fixed up inside the helmet, and that's where we're going to be getting to by the next video. Okay, thank you for looking in. Now as you can see inside there you've got the brass gauze-ins that are now showing. They were behind the padding. They're those parts that I said would stop the bugs getting blasted through, or any chip-ins, whatever. Basically they're just a brass type gauze-in being glued into place. They're quite easily to come off, they'll just be glued back into place, but note that they're actually cut to the shapes on the side, so important you remember, you know, get them in to fit nice on the way back in. Okay. Just warming up the glue to help release the other gauze-in panels there, and we should go right to that point there. These glue deposits and bits of resin that are left over, they're going to have to be cleaned up, because as you can imagine over the years there's been a lot of weather and bits and bobs getting in there, and it could do with a real good clean up before everything's fixed back in securely when it's renewed. But basically, if you can see in there, that should be an easy enough job. We'll watch what sort of materials we use. I'll read the types of fluids that I'm going to use to get that off, because we don't want anything that's going to harm the actual fiberglass structure in there and make it any weaker than what it would be at this time. Come to the back end and side end of the Simpson helmet, and this padding should be nice and firm to get a snug fit around the back of your head. As you can see, over 30 years of wear and tear, the padding's just disappeared, it's disintegrated. We're going to have to take that out. A bit worried about that, but it needs to be either replaced or refurbished. Let's see if we can make anything along the way that could refill that, or replace it with a more modern neck padding if we can find something on the internet. I think Array do some helmet liners that are quite firm and whatnot, so we'll have to see what we can do. I'd like to keep it to original, but if we can't, we'll ad lib a little bit. But what we will do is we'll get it so it's you know, good for show, a showpiece when it's done, instead of being this horrible manky bloody 30 years of use bloody terrible looking inside that we've got here now. Okay. Once again, we're going to be using our hairdryer to warm up any glues that are holding that in position around the edge. A nice gentle heating, and then we'll go from there on. Yeah, so for all of you that are thinking what's inside behind all that padding in your old Simpson helmet, well, there you go. It might look alright on the outside of the padding, but underneath all that sponge and whatnot, it's just gone to powder. But that's it. Okay, so best that's gone, and get rid of that. So as we had so much dust and whatnot coming from the padding and everything else, we're just going to go to hoovering out the helmet now so we can see how far we got. Okay, so after much monkeying around, this is what we're got now. Just the crown and the side and the upper side cloth covers to get out from between the actual helmet shell and the polystyrene, and we're going to do that by warming up the sides from the outside, and that should moisten up the glue so that we could just pull that out and go on from there. And I think it's going to be a case of none of this cloth is going to go back in. What I'm going to do is use the array type removable type paddings in there and try and manipulate the shapes and whatnot to fit it as they should, you know, cutting them out, resewing them, making sure that they all fit nice and snug. The front piece that goes behind the actual grids and whatnot, that's over here. That's still in its shape. I would like to do something with a piece of card on the sides, basically just to stop a bit of the noise. That'll be hidden on the inside. The materials here, I'm going to use a foam cleaner to clean with, and the gauze-ins, which are here, they'll be cleaned up because they'll be in a nice shiny brass are getting glued back into position. They save all the chip-ins, stones and bugs and whatnot coming through the grids. So we'll go on from there. Okay, so we covered up to the last parts of the stripping down of the Simpson helmet, and as you can see now, the insides has been taken out and we've just got the actual shell there, and all the parts we're going to reuse are here. The actual inside liner has been cleaned and tidied up here. That's really fine, that can go back in the front of the helmet. And of course these gauzes here, now they're cleaned up, they'll be going in first, then they fit behind that, in between that and the actual helmet. The visor's fine, as I said, that looks like brand new, and that's a genuine Simpson visor. The actual polystyrene is now out, and all that liner there will be coming off and being replaced, hopefully, with an array inliner, which is a washable type, but will be in there, fixed and secured in, nice and tight and whatnot, you know. So the helmet is just refurbished on the inside, and a nostalgia keepsake. Well, I think that if we could get hold of one of those array liners, we can cut and manipulate it to fit, hopefully, and with the removable cheek pieces to go where the straps are, to cover up where the straps are inside the Simpson helmet. I'll just go back to that. We should be able to do something good. Now, I happen to have an array here, which I will be taking the liners out because they're removable, just to see what kind of thing I can do before I actually buy some liners. As you're fully aware, with the Array Astro R, the insides do come out, and I'm hoping that type of strap padding will be able to fit in there nicely, and I'll be able to cut it and manipulate it and cut between the straps to make it fit quite nice. And then of course the bottom neck roll you can buy those whole, and I'm hoping to be able to manipulate one of those into the back of the Simpson helmet. So hopefully, all being all, we'll have a nice snug fit Simpson helmet again. Now they do make these helmets new, but they're very different where the visor fits and how they look at the front because of how the visor fits. They've given them a wider viewing point, which is good in one sense but takes away the real mad look on the other. Anybody wanting to renovate one of these just for nostalgia's sake of keeping it on the shelf or whatever, this is what we're doing here now, and we're going to try and make it really nice and clean all round and tidy as well. So glad we got rid of all that stink old padding. I mean, quite a few summers riding and winters riding, they do tend to get a bit manky after a while, and now we're solving that and getting rid of all that. We don't want that in there, do we? Hey guys, thought I'd get back to you on the Simpson Star Wars helmet and how we've been getting on. Well, it's come along great, and with a few extra paddings from a couple of helmets, it's come along pretty nice inside, and I'll just show you. So inside there we have the Array Astro R inside head padding and the Astro V7 BOA padding for there. So all in all, it came out pretty good.